I love your feet because they have wandered over the earth and through the wind and water until they brought you to me. Our feet carry our journeys. They hold our stories. From the first steps we take through childhood and into adulthood. Every step records a sound. Every step holds a memory. It's through our movements our lives grow and change. And it's our feet that carry us through all life's joys and pains. This is the Sound of Little Feet, a podcast about identity and family, orphans, foster care, and adoption. A little bit of wonder and awe, and the power of healing through play. These are the stories of people like you and me, and the journeys all of our feet have traveled to be here today. For a few minutes, just put everything down and come with me. Let's go on a treasure hunt together, and let's just see if we can find ourselves some gold and diamonds. Hi everyone, and welcome to the Sound of Little Feet, a podcast about family and identity, orphans, foster care and adoption, a little bit of wonder and awe, and the power of healing through play. I'm your host, Matt Miller, and this is today's special guest, Tora. Tora-kun, say hello to everyone. I have the privilege of babysitting Tora today. Yeah. This is season 1 of the Sound of Little Feet, a brief 13-episode season. And this week, we are releasing 6 episodes in 1 week. So right now, we are running our very first ever prize contest giveaway here on the Sound of Little Feet. And it's running through this Friday, December 7th. So hurry up and enter if you haven't had time yet. It's free to enter and probably not very hard to win one of the prizes since this is a brand new podcast and there aren't very many listeners yet. So you are some of the first individuals who have discovered us so far. Thank you. It means a lot to me that you chose to listen in here today. I created the Sound of Little Feet because for a long time now, my heart has felt compelled to go deeper, to create conversations around trauma, abuse, and abandonment. This podcast isn't for everyone, but it's for someone. And if it's for you or somebody you know, thank you so much for choosing to spend time with me today. And Tora too. Hey Tora. Today is episode number 5 with NPO Mirai no Mori, an outdoor-based nonprofit based in Tokyo, Japan that takes abused, abandoned, and orphaned children out into nature to help equip, empower, and prepare them to follow their future dreams. I have the pleasure of being one of the Mirai no Mori ambassadors, and I've been able to see firsthand over the last 5 years the changes that have been made in the children's lives as they've gone through these outdoor programs. I am also the director of the upcoming documentary, The Things We Carry, which is presented by Keen Footwear. Mirai no Mori is an important part of the documentary that we've worked on, and I'm very grateful that they've allowed me to kind of invade their lives for a year, as my crew and myself have followed them around for the past year with our cameras, asking them for a lot, and they've been so gracious in allowing us to film everything and allowing us to put our cameras wherever we need to. Joining me today will be Kozue Oka, the executive director of Mirai no Mori, and Jeff Jensen, the co-founder of Mirai no Mori and the current vice chair. Today, you will hear what it takes to run an NPO here in Japan, the struggles, the setbacks, and the roadblocks that it takes trying to make a difference as an NPO in Japan, and the reasons why they've dedicated so much time and energy into the lives of the children at Mirai no Mori. So without further ado, Tora and I present to you our conversation with NPO Mirai no Mori. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Sound of Little Feet. Today I am joined by Jeff Jensen and Kozue Oka. And today you're both here to represent Mirai no Mori. And before we go any further, can I have one of you explain what is Mirai no Mori?
So Mirai no Mori's mission is to create life-changing adult programs for abused, neglected, and orphaned children in Japan, supporting their growth into happy and successful young adults. And our purpose is to equip them with skills, knowledge, and mindset they need, so that when they leave the care at the age of 18, they have tools in their backpack to thrive.
Kozue, can you share what your position within Mirai no Mori is?
So I'm the executive director. I am in charge of the operations. So I do admin. There are things that we have to do as NPO, the local government, and also how important programs, fundraising, marketing.
Okay.
A little bit of everything. So, my name is Jeff Jensen. I am co-founder and vice chair at Mirai no Mori.
Can you share with our audience an estimated number of children living in children's homes around Japan? Do you have that number?
So there are more than 40,000 children under care, but we work with children who live in the care homes, which is called jidoyo-setsu. So that number is said to be around 30,000, over 600 children's homes across.
So, Jeff, is there a reason or an experience in your life that really caused you to believe that it was a necessity to co-create Mirai no Mori with Dave?
The funny thing is until a few years ago when Kozue and I actually attended a seminar, I hadn't really thought about why it was that I wanted to do this and to give back in the way that we're giving back. And why I specifically wanted to give back to children. It turns out it's a really interesting story, and to make it really short, because it is quite detailed, it turns out that my mom was adopted and she was neglected by her birth parents and brought into the system, and then ended up being abused by her adopted parents. I never really knew that growing up, and learning about it as an adult, after I'd already started Mirai no Mori, it really made sense to me. And maybe it was just in my heart and I never really faced it and understood why it was there. But it's just something I've always felt that I wanted to do.
Okay. So a lot of the children that you work with, they're growing up already at a big disadvantage. They lack a lot of emotional skills. They lack a lot of life skills. They lack experiences with their parents that that families give to their children. And so I want to ask you, in the sense, if you could fill up a child's bag, so say they don't actually have anything in their bag, or they have less than their peers do, what are a few things that you would want to add into their bag? And it could be anything, tangible or intangible. It can be a compass, it can be a map, it can be confidence. Whatever you feel like you really would love to give every child to put into their bag. Or even what you feel Mirai no Mori tries to put into every child's bag.
So as Mirai no Mori, we would say skills, knowledge, and mindset that we want to put in their bags.
Okay.
Skills, when we talk about skills, it's more soft skills, so communication skills, life skills, how to be confident, that kind of skills that they just need to be happy and confident in themselves. And knowledge, I think it could be really something from daily lives to, again, like how to behave when this happens, or what to bring to the wedding or funeral, or that kind of super little things, but they struggle if they don't know, they had no exposure to those things, and then now it's time for them to actually do proper thing in society. Knowledge and mindset, personally, I think that's the biggest thing. Mindset that it's gonna be tough, but you also have to be flexible enough and then actually enjoy that adventure as you go on your own path.
And that's really what happens at camp too. Kozue touched on it before, but you just never know what's going to happen, and you can plan for things, but because you're outside and because it's Mother Nature that you're dealing with, things change, and you do have to have that flexibility in the way you think about things. And I think we give them a lot of opportunity to experience that during camp, and that is a powerful. It is powerful to have the opportunity to learn that.
Sure.
If I was to add anything, and really it's kind of within what Kozue just mentioned, but I would say again, as Mirai and Mori, putting those values that we hold dear at Mirai and Mori, and packing those up in their bags as well, because being true to those values in life is really going to give them all the tools that they need to be happy and successful people.
Those are wonderful answers. How do you connect with nature with the kids?
Well,
what does it mean for you?
Yeah, no, because my background is in the outdoors,
Yeah.
and I still work in the outdoor field, I feel comfortable there.
Okay.
And when we're out at camp with the campers, they can see me feeling comfortable there. And I think that gives them an ease, and it allows them to loosen up a little bit as well. It's hard for them sometimes to come and to become accustomed to who we are and what we do. And for many of the children, it takes them seasons, even years, to get to a place where they feel comfortable with us. And being outside, we're outside 24/7. So that's a big part of it. Again, Mother Nature doesn't care that we're there. And so if it's hot, it's hot. And if it's rainy and cold, it's rainy and cold. And so nature itself really gives us the opportunity to open up those doors, really give the opportunity to the campers to challenge themselves in ways that otherwise they wouldn't be able to challenge themselves.
So is this an English program that Mirai no Mori runs, or is English part of the program?
So English is just one of the tools that we use. Our program is not designed so that children can be fluent in English, but it's just a way for us to broaden their views to new cultures.
It's less about learning the language and having the language as a tool in the future, and more about what learning the language does as a process, how it opens them up to new ideas and new thoughts, new culture, new people. So we're not there to help them pass any tests or get a higher grade on their 12th grade essay or anything like that. But if we can, spark something in them and then open up their horizons, and which English really does. To give you an example, we had about 18 staff last summer, of which 11 or 12 were from different countries, and we all come together in English. And I think for the campers at camp to see that, it's really powerful, and it can really kind of open their eyes to new things that they've never experienced before.
And how much are you using English at camp? Are you speaking English only the whole time, or are you speaking a mixture of Japanese and English?
So staff language is English, but from staff to camper language is usually Japanese for safety reasons, of course. But at each activity we have English phrases called target English. So for example, when we do marshmallow roasting, we learn those target English before the activity so that they can use those during the activity. So one marshmallow please, or my marshmallow is on fire, so that they can actually enjoy using them rather than trying to memorize just for the test.
At Mirai no Mori summer camps, winter camps, you talk about camp magic a lot. Can you explain to me what you mean by camp magic and what that does for the camper's experience?
I think camp magic can happen in one day or one activity or 5 days or even like 3 years. But Mirai no Mori camp is a place where it's so special, and then not daily lives, not school, not home. So there are things that they can't really do in daily lives, but they can do it when people are cheering them on, or when we're in the great of nature, with international super positive staff. One of the Camp Magic examples is there was one boy who was maybe 7 years old who wasn't really good at walking, or who didn't have enough energy or kairoku to do the 8-kilometer stream hike, for example.
Sure.
Then the Kyogo wanted him to stay at campsite because they didn't think he could do it. But we told them that we had enough support and he could go till where he can go. So we tried, and then everybody was cheering each other on. It was a great day on the stream, and then he had no problem walking back safe to the campsite. And then he didn't even hold hands with the coworkers. So that really gave him confidence. And then that was just Camp Magic that coworkers didn't expect at all.
Camp Magic for the care workers as well.
And for everyone at home who doesn't understand what a stream hike is, it's more than just a simple little hike. It's going sometimes through water that's up to your chest, climbing over rocks,
Climbing up waterfalls.
It's an adventure.
It is an adventure. And it's daunting, I think, for some of the campers and staff and care workers for that matter too. So the boy that she's talking about, no one expected him to be able to do it. And his care workers were probably the most adamant about him not being able to do it. And he surprised everyone, including himself. And that's really what Camp Magic is. It's just, we're there. And because we're there, and because it is that safe and nurturing environment, that kids and staff and care workers alike really feel energized and confident enough to try things that they may not otherwise try.
So what place does wonder and awe have at Mirai and Mori? Or how do you instill wonder and awe into the activities and into the overall camp so that each child can experience it in their own unique way?
At Mirai and Mori, we work really hard to create impactful traditions. And we have a lot of different traditions throughout the week. We have, and we work really hard to create opportunities that are meaningful and can touch people. Something that doesn't happen in Japan a lot is children, or people for that matter of any age, really feeling proud about themselves. And something we do at Mirai no Mori is kiss your head. So we give everyone the opportunity to say, yeah, you know, I did a good job. Even if no one's there to see you do it, or even if no one's there to pat you on the back. So an example is after we finished eating, some of the campers were cleaning dishes. A young girl was sweeping up in the kitchen, and she's like, I did it. I swept up. And it's no big deal to sweep up. Sure. And no one was there to pat her on the back, but you know, she was proud of herself, and she kissed her hand, right? And it's sweet, right? Yeah, but creating these traditions and instilling in them what they mean is really important. And that's part of the 5 values that we really believe in at Mirai no Mori, and we instill within the camp and within the programs.
Kozue, can you actually touch on what the 5 values are?
So at our programs, we have 5 values that we treasure: leadership, kindness, respect, responsibility, and courage. So we sprinkle those values throughout the camp, and then campers can also get to choose which value they want to work on, and then we can just encourage each other. If you are working on courage, we they can just say, okay, how are you doing? Today is a extreme hot day. Are you ready to be courageous? So that we are working toward each other, each one consider each other's goal, that we need to reach out.
So this is kind of a big question in terms of what you're doing with the children. And I'm going to ask this in two parts. So the first part is, what does family mean to you? And both of you can answer, one of you can answer.
Okay. Family is having people that you love and care about, and love and care about you, and being there for them, really being in a position to always support and help and love and guide and give and take. And so for me, again, family doesn't necessarily have to be biological. Friends, and family.
Yeah. So Kozle, how about you? What does family mean to you?
I think family, as Jeff mentioned, doesn't have to have a biological relationship. It could be just people who care for each other, and then be honest when we are on the wrong path.
Sure.
Guide each other back to the right track.
Okay. So the second part to this question is, what does family mean within the context of Mirai and Mori? So you as an organization, how do you define family to these kids who you see again and again and who you're building relationships with?
So first off, in regard to family and what it means to Mirai and Mori, you need to know that the children and the youth that we support come from difficult and broken homes, and that's why they're living in care.
Sure.
Many of them are abused, whether it's mental or physical or sexual. They come from economically disadvantaged homes, and that's why they're there. Some of them are orphaned. So when they arrive at camp with us, they're already struggling and dealing with a lot. And so that's obviously always in the back of our minds when we're creating programs and when we're working with them. But in the context of what we do and how we do it, over the last few years, we've been doing a really good job at staying in touch with them and seeing them on more of an ongoing basis, which has really been the ultimate goal for us.
Okay.
And now that we're finally getting there and seeing what it means, it's unbelievable. We have, every time we see them, they'll run up and hug us, and the first thing they'll do is they'll look around and they'll go, well, where's Matt? Or, where's Selena? Or where's one of the staff that they know? And so to them too, it's meaningful, and I really believe that they look forward to coming to the programs, and they love us as we do them. And so we're creating a community and a family, and we as we grow as an organization and as we get better at what we do, hopefully we'll get to a point where, as the kids grow out of Mirai and Mori and become, adults, they'll have a place to come back and visit and take part in our programs as leaders. And that's really the ultimate goal. It's just to create relationships and be in a position to mentor and help.
Kozle, is there anything that you wanted to add to that?
I guess ongoing mentoring is one of our 3 core tools, and then that ongoing relationship that they can look forward to, and then they know that it's gonna last is very important for those children. And one of our main camp songs is the one we created called Mirai and Mori, we are a team. So that's the message that we want to convey. We're gonna be there when you need us. We're a team that we're creating this all together.
I love that.
And I guess in addition, or regards to the family, we did some camp survey for this summer, and then one of the repeater camper actually wrote, the question was why do you like Mirai and Mori? That kind of question, and then her answer was, I like Mirai and Mori because it's my family. It was
Wow, yeah. It's wonderful. So I believe that healing begins once you're able to open up about the painful things in life. How does Mirai no Mori support these children in their pain?
Okay, again, another difficult but good question. So as an organization at Mirai no Mori, because each of the children and the youth come from very different backgrounds and very different challenges and problems that each of them need to deal with in their own way. As an organization, it's hard for us to come up with a blanket answer for such a big issue.
Yeah.
That said, at Mirai no Mori, what we do is we hire international staff, positive role models that each of these kids and youth can look up to and connect with. So I may not be the right person for everyone out there,
Sure.
and as well as Kozue may not.
Yeah.
So there are certain types of children that I connect with, and there are children that have a hard time connecting with me because of who I am.
Sure.
And that's one of the great strengths of our organization, is because we do have so many different cultures and different people and different ages from different backgrounds that work with us. And so having that opportunity for those youth to have someone to connect with and make those meaningful relationships most certainly is healing.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So these children come from difficult backgrounds, and a lot of them have they've lost their trust in others and in adults especially. How does Mirai no Mori build trust with the children within its programs?
Okay, another big question that's not really that easy to answer, but through our 5 values. And at camp, we really talk a lot about the fact that this isn't something that we're doing and giving to them, but it's something that we're all working together as a team to create. Creating that atmosphere where we all need to look out for each other and we all need to work toward a singular goal is the type of environment that instills that trust. That said, me personally, and I know because we have such a diverse staff that everyone's got a little bit of a different angle on this, but me personally, it's about honesty and being open and honest with everyone, no matter what age they are and what challenges they face, and talking about them and being there for them when they need a shoulder or when they need someone to listen to. So that overall atmosphere as an organization where everybody is there to support everybody else. And because we're so dynamic, we really do cover, in my opinion, pretty well everyone's needs while we're there. So,
Kozue, for you, how do you see Mirai no Mori building trust with the children within the programs?
So we learn lots from adventure educations or outdoor experiential learning theories, and then we incorporate those into our programs.
Okay.
So 5 days at summer camp is a great length so that we can try those little games on day 1, but also build up so that shy campers can take their time, open up, and then slowly participate. So there was one camper who didn't want to join any games because he didn't know anybody. He was just too overwhelmed. But it was okay because day 1 we do games that not everybody have to participate.
Sure.
But he again took his time, slowly started to join us when he could, and then day 5 he had an amazing time with campfire, stream hiking with everybody together. So 5 days I think is a great length for everybody from staff to campers and K-walkers to build trust and then work as a team.
And I think also I see the trust being built over time through your weekend programs, because they're coming back again and again, so that you're continuing to build trust, slowly, month after month.
Yeah, we have a leader in training this year that came to camp maybe 5-6 years in a row. and now is a leader in training. And we've known him since he was in elementary school. Now he's a high school student.
I think to have a real impact takes time, and then I think it's now or maybe next year or in few years we're gonna see those continuous efforts paying off, hopefully.
Well, you definitely will. I mean, especially since you just only started, 5 years ago. I'm not sure exactly how to ask this question, but doing a little self-assessing on your part, how does Mirai no Mori self-assess yourself in terms of how effective you've been in the past 5 years?
I think it's generally very difficult to evaluate what our programs has been doing, because it's people and we never know when they're gonna show the results. But we have been partnering with some other third parties so that we can do some surveys after camp, before camp and after camp. And we've seen some positive comments, but we're still not there to actually compare what it was 3 years ago, 2 years ago. We're still figuring out what's the best way for valuing our impact, which is very unique from English point of view, outdoor point of view, and then also ongoing, continuous point of view. But I guess in addition to those surveys that we can get the numbers, we always get the voices from campers as well as care workers. I think care workers who actually take care of them 24/7 has been seeing positive effects or impact from campers. Then care workers can also see the possibilities in those campers and then have more faith in those children. So they will be more motivated to support them in their own way, in their daily lives. And then we're looking forward to hearing more and more now that we have those monthly and ongoing programs.
How do you feel as an organization about a documentary being filmed here in Japan about supporting some of Japan's most vulnerable children using outdoor nature programs, and Mirai no Mori being selected as the NPO to be filmed in this documentary?
So obviously we feel honored to be selected to be in the documentary. If it wasn't us, that still would be fine, because getting something like this out and talking about how nature can heal and what the outdoors and that ongoing mentorship and for in our case the English as well, and how it can impact the lives of these children, and just the fact that these children even exist, especially here in Japan when these conversations are fairly taboo and swept under the rug a lot. Anything that can get out there and talk about this issue is great. Something that I've noticed and I feel personally, and I'm sure people share, is that hardly anyone really knows what's going on, and so having something like this to get out and talk about it is just amazing. Anytime you do get somebody face to face and you're able to sit down with them and talk to them and look them in the eye, there isn't a single person that doesn't want to help. But if they don't know about it, then they're unable. So getting the word out is super important, and thankful, grateful, as well as honored to be selected.
So it's an honor and a privilege for us to be featured and actually to spread the word out. But again, it's a taboo issue. There's lots of social stigma, which is unfair for those children. So again, first step is for us to know about the issue. So this documentary will definitely help that first step. I'm really excited how this documentary will be seen, and then what kind of effect it could have on those children, maybe not necessarily just through us. So even if it's not through us maybe, but if they know about these issues, they can take action and then start helping those children, because they have potential. They have the right to make their dreams come true. So the more people know about it, the better chance they have to make the dreams come true. So I'm really excited what this documentary can do for those children in the long run.
That's wonderful. And this is a quote by Mick Ebeling. He's the founder of Not Impossible, an amazing organization doing things to help people around the world. But his words, and maybe he quoted from someone else, I'm not sure, but this is what he always ends his videos with. If not now, when? If not me, who? How do those words speak to you within Mirai no Mori's context?
So I know there are so many other great causes and there's so many other people are doing great stuff, but we can't do them all. So I think it's a great coincidence that I met Mirai no Mori at the right time, and then I thought it was really rewarding for me to commit. So I feel lucky that I'm part of Mirai no Mori now. And of course there are ups and downs, and sometimes I wish there are more people or more this, more that. But again, if I don't do it now, who's gonna do it for the children that they need, that who need support right now? So I guess Mirai no Mori team believes in, okay, we have to do it, and we can do this all together as a team. So I think it's a great team who believe in the same mission towards the same goal.
Last question. What are Mirai no Mori's dreams for the future?
As Jeff mentioned, Mirai no Mori wants to become a place where people can come back. Everybody who's been involved as a volunteer or camper or leader in training, we want to have a Mirai no Mori community where we're connected and we support each other when we need help.
And if I can add one more thing, at Mirai no Mori right now, we don't have a home base. We don't have our own campsite, and it's our dream to have a physical location that, as Kozue just mentioned, people can come back to. And whether it's 10 years from now or 20 years from now, being able to go back to that place that has those memories and those meaningful moments, and that time you made friends with someone from a different care home, and experience that and come back to help too, is something that we're working toward.
Thank you both for coming on today. I really appreciate it. I really believe that you're doing wonderful work with these children.
Thanks.
It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you soon.
Thanks very
Matt.
much.
Well, what did you think of my conversation with Kozue and Jeff? They are amazing people, right? So most likely you've never heard of Mirai no Mori prior to today, and that's okay. But if you would like to hear more about what they are involved in and how you can actually personally help them, you can click the link below to their website. And also, on Tuesday, December 18th, at Quest Hall in Harajuku, Tokyo, Keen Footwear is hosting a big winter party for Mirai no Mori, and everyone is invited. So if you're around Tokyo at this time and you would like to meet people from Keen, people from Mirai no Mori, like to talk to myself, and just like to talk to other people who are involved with business and CSR work and volunteering, please stop by. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and just a reminder, tomorrow and every day this week we'll be airing new episodes. So if you haven't already, please click the link below to learn about Mirai no Mori. Please click the contest link below, how you can enter free to win a pair of Keen footwear and other prizes. Thank you so much for tuning in today, and we will see you back here tomorrow. Goodbye.